Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker came out with remarks after Donald Trump had this big meeting in front of all of the admirals and generals at the Pentagon. And in that meeting, Donald Trump talked about using liberal cities like Chicago as training ground for the U.S. military, which those comments on their face is insane. If any other president under any other Congress had made comments like that, there would be impeachment talks, etc. But with MAGA running things, they're going to let Donald Trump go for as long as possible until they absolutely feel like they are backed into a corner and it's bad for them politically until they do something. But J.B. Pritzker was responding to this, and he said that it's evident Donald Trump is fighting dementia and that he is unwell, that he is mentally unwell, and that the 25th Amendment should be used to remove Donald Trump. Now, he is one of the more high-profile Democrats actively calling for the 25th Amendment or some kind of removal option for Donald Trump. Now, what does this mean? Well, nothing. Because governors cannot call for the removal of the president. They can say it. They can't do anything to invoke it. They can't do anything to activate it or anything like that. To use the 25th Amendment, J.D. Vance, the vice president, would have to get the majority of the cabinet to agree. They would have to send a letter to Congress. Congress would have to hold a vote, and they need 2/3 majority in both houses to remove Donald Trump. And it could be temporary or it could be permanent depending on what's going on. It has never been used, and it has never been used to forcibly remove a president. The only time the 25th Amendment has been invoked in any way has been when the president has been under some kind of like anesthesia or something like that, where they were physically unable to execute the duties. And they said, hey, for 2 days or a day or whatever, I'm going to be dealing with the effects of anesthesia. And the vice president's in charge should something happen. And it usually never comes up to where anything major happens in the day around that. But now we have at least one high-profile governor calling for the removal of the president over his remarks about sending troops into liberal cities. I expect that more governors are going to be doing the same, and it's going to continue putting pressure on these Republicans, and they may ultimately have to make a choice if they think it is politically better for them to remove Donald Trump, or is it better to keep him as the head and the face of their party. But I'm not surprised. I have not seen much about Donald Trump's reaction other than his typical talking points, calling Pritzker a loser, etc. But I'm sure this is eating Donald Trump up.